Hi, loves. So, welcome to day 2 of 10 days of foundation, $10 or less. Today we are testing out NYX Stay Matte, but not flat. This claims to be oil-free, water-based, full coverage, mineral enriched with a matte finish. Y'all know I'm not a fan of the mattes, but I am trying to move into the mattes a little bit more. So this retails at Ulta for $7.49. If you guys are a fan of NYX, you know that oftentimes NYX, my eyeshadow's looking a little funky. I have to fix that. You know that NYX often at Ulta has buy one, get one half off and all kinds of deals. So without further ado, oh, and the color that I got is Creamy Natural. Don't know how it's going to work. Very thick. I think with this one, I'm going to do sections. You know, yesterday, I did the whole face, which is what I typically do, but the one I used yesterday dries so quickly that I had trouble working with it. And as always, I have primed with the Urban Decay Optical Illusion. I will use this primer with all the foundations to give them the same base. All right. Oh, this is thick. And I am using a beauty blender, which is the only thing that, oh, this is very thick and light. Maybe a little too light for my skin. I feel like this foundation is thick, but not offering the coverage that I expected. Yeah, we may have to build that up in a few areas. So we'll get to test how well it builds up. I will say the foundation that I used yesterday, that Wet n Wild, you know, I was very impressed with it all throughout the day. Far more impressed than I expected to be. But after I finished filming, you know, I was just hanging out in my house for a couple hours. And that night when I came to take the makeup off, it looked horrible. Like, it broke down in such a funky way. I've never, so I guess that's, I guess for the price point, $4, if you were only planning on wearing it for a couple of hours, you know, and not one of those, I'm gonna go to work all day and then go out on the town, it definitely would not work. Because it did hold up really well throughout the day, as you guys saw in the video. But boy, when it broke down, it was a mess. Okay, for a matte, it doesn't dry quickly. It doesn't dry quickly at all, which is weird because usually mattes dry pretty quick. But there's good things for that because it makes it a little easier to work with. And I don't feel like it's full coverage, guys. I feel like it's more of a medium. But you know, when something claims to be full coverage, I expect a lot out of it. And I just feel like this is heavy and thick without the full coverage. So it's very sticky. It's not sticky, it's just, and I have a whole lot left on my hand. yeah, there's definitely not a lightweight vibe. It's heavy. Like I feel like I got a lot of makeup on. All right, I'm using the, I was going to say Urban Decay. Tarte Shape Tape. Truly the best concealer. Hands down. I don't even try other concealers at this point. Because they're just not going to impress me. No, they're not going to impress me, but I feel like what could you do that this Shape Tape is not doing? This foundation is much easier to work with than the Wet n Wild was yesterday. But with that said, I don't feel like it's matte. You know, mattes tend to dry down very quickly and just, with most mattes, you don't even necessarily need a powder, which is why some people love their mattes. But this is not drying down, which is okay. I mean, we'll set it with our powder and keep it moving, you know. There's pluses to that, I feel like, because if it doesn't dry down, it's quite easier to work with. I'm going to bang for a second while I get my powder out. Okay, again, just like yesterday, I'm setting with Born This Way. It is quickly becoming my favorite setting powder. I'm not going to do a whole lot of baking today. I was trying to do a somewhat natural look today because I got family coming over for family dinner. So this foundation is a little heavier than I had hoped. But, you know, Autumn, you did pick the full coverage. So, but again, it's not full coverage. I don't feel like it's just full heaviness. Again, ooh, I always have my foundations kind of fall into my wrinkles on my forehead, so I always have to buff them out, but those were really falling into those wrinkles. I mean, they were like some deep lines going on. So I don't know, NYX. Maybe y'all couldn't hear that. My whole family's here, so. I always like to bake a little extra in here, because that's always where my makeup breaks up first. All right, we're going to go do the rest of my face, and I will come back for my first impressions. Sorry, that looks light. We'll see. Okay, we have finished the look. First impressions of the NYX Stay Matte But Not Flat. It's easy to work with. It did not dry down quickly, so that's a plus if you're doing cream contours, etc., etc. And so that I appreciate. It is a pretty finish. Their claim matte but not flat, I somewhat agree with, although I do think it's not really a matte. But it does have a very pretty finish. So kudos to that. It's not full coverage, so that claim is incorrect. I would say more of a medium leaning towards the full, but definitely not a full. It's claimed to be oil-free. I guess it is oil-free, but I will tell you, this is a very heavy foundation. I feel like I have a lot of makeup on. Pretty finish. I appreciate that. But I bet my transfer rate today is going to be high. No close hugs at the family dinner today. So far, I'm going to give it a 2.5 out of 5, simply because it did not give me the full coverage that it promised, and it's heavy, and I don't care for an overly heavy foundation. Well, I don't mind a heavy foundation if it doesn't feel heavy, and there is a difference. So 2.5, but let's see how it stays. I will check in 4 hours, and I'm going to tell you, I'm cooking today. We're having a family dinner at my house, so we're going to be putting this through the test today. Okay, so it has been 4 hours and the makeup is still going strong. Breaking up, settling my fine lines a little bit, but overall not too bad. The blush is still holding on. Everything is still together. Starting to break down a little bit around here 4 hours later, and staying in the kitchen. It's not too bad. We'll check in again in a little bit. Hey guys, this is the 8-hour check-in. Holding up pretty well. It looks alright, I guess. Definitely breaking down in that T-zone area, settling into the fine lines. I have put it through a lot today. I've been cooking. So it had a tough test, but overall I think it still looks pretty. But yeah, I'm gonna stick with a 2 out of 5. It wears okay, but it's very heavy. Everyone is watching me make the video. So I'll give you my final thoughts in a little bit. Hello, YouTube. So it's the end of the day. Final thoughts on the NYX Stay Matte but not flat. It's a 2 out of 5. It looks pretty in the beginning. The longevity is not great. It broke down in so many of these areas. It really accentuated the fine lines and wrinkles. I was snapping earlier, and this little area here looked like such a mess. So in the beginning, it was very heavy. It looked pretty, not full coverage. And as the day wore on, I just want to go wash my face. So NYX, sorry, but yeah, this will be donated or maybe even trashed. But if you're just looking for a couple hours of pretty wear, then, but if you're planning on, going to work or something, no. All right, tomorrow's day 3. Don't yet know what I'll try, but we'll see then.